Okay, finally. So this is take two technically. This is actually live, and we're actually a couple of minutes behind, I think. But I don't want to miss any information because this is apparently like happening. At least the information is coming live now. I'm assuming because he just Business Basics just went live. So if you guys want to go, watch that on this channel, you're more than welcome to. If not, come check out the video on YouTube. Let's get right into it. FBI shooting near the HQ. I mean, shooting near the FBI HQ in DC.
Wait for it to update. Give me 1 sec. We'll go public. Alright, we'll go public.
See what's going on here.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I think we're live. The reason we're going live so late is my audio and everything good? Okay, perfect. There's a shooting near an FBI headquarters, I think, in Washington D.C. And
Holy
as
crap.
if that wasn't bad enough, I think two Israeli diplomats, so they have diplomatic protection, I guess, were the target of the shooting, and it seems at least one of them has passed away because of it. So
Well,
I'm learning about the
that's
news
definitely
as you
not
guys see
good.
on your screen. I just wanted to go live. If you're in the chat, yo, what's up?
Yeah, I had a
That's
feeling.
perfect.
Yeah, that's why I
let me
just
know where you
decided
guys
to
are
just
joining in from.
get and make another one.
But yeah, big news. Shooting near the FBI headquarters, and it just happened 20 minutes ago. Yeah, it is insane. Insane.
Wait, whoa.
From?
What did he say? It just happened 20 minutes ago?
Big news. Shooting near the FBI headquarters. Insane happened 20 minutes ago. Yeah, it is insane.
20 minutes ago? Okay, I was right.
Insane
Yo,
headline.
we're actually catching this live
Just
for
happened
once.
20 minutes ago. Let's see what we can find. Here's a little bit. Fatal shooting that took place outside the event that took place at the Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C., in which Israeli embassy employees were also injured, is a depraved act of anti-Semitism terrorism. Okay, I want to see what exactly happened. So some people are saying a diplomat was killed, or two Israeli embassy staff. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know this. Is every Israeli embassy or every embassy staff considered a diplomat or no? Watching from Texas. Hey, what's up, Soup? Los Angeles, Germany. Wow.
Wait, yeah, is that true?
Germany
Are they
is, like,
considered
really
diplomats?
late.
I actually don't know that either. If any of you guys know, leave a
Crazy you joined from
comment.
But yeah, hit the like button if
Let
you
me
haven't
know.
already. I'll give you guys more information as I
Yeah,
learn
make sure to
more.
hit his like button. Make sure to sub
See
to me.
if there's any videos.
If you don't mind, mon ami.
Any videos on this? Nope, nothing yet. Shooting. Washington, D.C. Two people connected to Israeli embassy in Washington were shot tonight. Gabe Cohen News reports that two were killed. At least one is connected to the embassy. Israeli ambassador was not there. Embassy is working with the law enforcement.
Like 17 minutes behind.
You guys are saying. Do you guys know if every
we're
person
not
at
too
the
far
embassy is yeah, I heard the Trump dropping the N-word, the nuke word in the interview. Do you guys know if every person of the embassy is considered a diplomat or not?
I don't know.
We have some reporting. Let's see what this is.
I would imagine so.
Volume is low.
I'm just
Hello,
too
hello,
lazy
hello?
to ask Brock.
I'll speak louder. Okay, and not every worker, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Local. Of course, I understand.
Yeah, that makes
local
as much
workers would
sense.
Not be considered diplomat. That makes sense for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, can you imagine
Oh,
everybody
yeah,
just being
something.
considered a diplomat?
What's this? No, this is something else.
This is crazy, yo. We're catching this live. Literally 20 minutes ago. Hi, this is hot. Hopefully Asmon Gold reacts to
There's no
this.
video from here. Let me switch it to my headphones.
Don't worry, Asmon. When I try to, obviously, we're all human. I'm for the most part, I'm freaking lazy. I'm flipping lazy. So sometimes I forget, but for the most part, I try that whenever I react to your content, to leave a link and make sure to like and everything that So yeah, make sure to go sub and like to Asman,
So
yo.
another thing that was important, AG Palm
He's
Bendy
pretty,
is
he's pretty
already on the
based.
scene, which is kind of surprising.
He's
Oh, you looked
based.
it up, Sebastian. Thank you. So not all employees
Oh
are
yeah, see, he has
considered
premium too.
diplomats.
Ha
So some
ha.
people are saying
Because if
a
you don't have
diplomat was
premium, dude,
killed.
it's
Some
like,
people are
what are you
saying
doing?
it
You
was
don't
just
watch
embassy
ads.
workers. Some people are saying, okay, this is Barack.
Yeah, but that's the
Rabbit is
thing.
a
When it comes to an
is a little
attack
bit
like
more
that, they're not
trustworthy.
just
So
workers.
look
There
at
are
it.
people.
Kel Naim Cohn, the spokeswoman for Israeli
And
embassy
it's
in
on our
Washington.
land, so you
Two
can't just be
staff
doing
members of
attacks
the
like that,
Israeli
yeah.
embassy were shot this evening
It
at
sets a
close
precedent.
range while attending a Jewish event at the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C.
Of course,
We have full
of
faith in
course.
law enforcement authorities on both local and federal levels to apprehend the shooter and protect Israel's representatives, Jewish communities throughout the United States. Yeah, things are. I don't know if you guys saw. Did you guys see? What's his name? Theo Vaughn put out a video. He recently
Theo
started talking about
Vaughn?
politics. Of course,
What
he is a comedian, but he was
When
just
did
talking about
Theo
how he
Vaughn
feels, how
start
untoward
talking
is
about
going
that
on.
stuff?
Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah.
It's a lost 100%.
What?
Let me see. If I
When
can
did
find
Theo
it.
Vaughn start talking about that? He was
Yeah,
a comedian,
so as I
yeah,
said,
dead ass.
Pam Bondi, the AG, is on the scene. I'm on the scene of the horrible shooting outside Washington, D.C., praying for the victim of this violence. And I don't know if this is a common thing. For me, this is one of the reasons why I went live, is diplomats dying in other countries is definitely a big deal, right?
Yeah,
Jesse,
that's
I
like
don't
a
think
crazy
this
deal.
It has to do with Netanyahu. I'm sure maybe it has. It does
Yeah.
have to do with Netanyahu. Probably someone who's not
I mean,
happy
I
with the
probably wouldn't be surprised
Gaza
if
war
it
is
did.
probably doing it. Theo Wan speaks for all of us who feel helpless towards Gaza. Yeah, let me see if I can pull up the Theo Wan thing, and it is just so I read this, and at least I think it's like an international event if a diplomat dies, especially if it's like murder,
Yeah,
because that's what this is. And I don't
that's
know if
like
this
serious
is true.
stuff.
I haven't seen a lot of people confirm. Some people have said
Like, wouldn't like Archduke Franz Ferdinand be considered like a diplomat? Technically, right? Because he's like the king, or he's an archduke. He's a duke, right? Wouldn't it? Hold on, let's look this up actually. Is an archduke considered a diplomat? No, an archduke is not inherently a diplomat, though they might sometimes act in diplomatic capacity. Archduques are high-ranking members of a royal or imperial dynasty, often with political influence, while they might represent their dynasty. Diplomat is a person appointed to by a state or government to conduct diplomatic activities such as representing their country. Oh, so that would actually be the complete opposite of what an archduke. Represent their dynasty in diplomatic. They are not diplomats in the formal sense of the word. They are more of a high-ranking noble. Damn. Okay. Yeah. So I guess no, they're not. No,
that the
never mind.
shooter yelled
Redact that
something
statement.
that was anti-Semitic, but here he claims that shooter screamed "Free Palestine" before assassinating. Again, no clue if this is true or not. Fox News already has a story on the app. Nice. I gotta get that app. Oh, just a quick break since we do have a good amount of people here. Let me run you down this story. So just recently, one of our second channel was deleted. Now, YouTube is not telling us why it was deleted, and they're just saying it's against the community guidelines. But the problem is, YouTube has this policy that if one channel is deleted, they'll delete every single channel. So,
Wow.
this is why, like, this has happened to us 3 times or 4 times in the last 12 months. And every time we talk to YouTube, nothing works. Only thing that works is going on Twitter and, like, making a fuss about it, which is a little disappointing, but sadly, that's the reality. So we made a post on Twitter. If you guys can just do me a favor, go retweet this post and tag Team YouTube. That's all we need. That's it. I'll put the link in the chat. But someone just asked, you don't see it on any major news channels? Nintendo, that's because this literally just happened 20 minutes
Like 20, 30
so
minutes
it
ago
hasn't
now, like
been that
40
long,
minutes
that's
ago,
why.
yeah.
But let me see if I can pull up the Tijuana video, because a lot of people were not happy about it. A lot of people. I don't like how, and this is people do this with us too, where if they don't like what we say on the channel, they just assume that we are getting paid by someone. So a lot of people did not like what Tia Vaughn said, and they just started blaming him that he's getting paid by someone, which is just not true, because like people can have disagreeing view. Do we know who else was killed? So Fox, only thing we know
Theo
is,
Von.
at least one Israeli employee was involved. So when I say involved, he was the victim. We don't know if he was a diplomat or not, because official accounts are saying it was an Israeli embassy staff. Now, as some of you guys pointed out, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a diplomat. It could be a diplomat. We're just waiting on more information. Let's see what happens. So, did he say something? Because I think this is one of like a trustworthy account.
Trustworthy account. It's
No,
very rare
nothing.
nowadays. Luckily, you have one right in
Not
front of
really
you.
much news. Where is news? Okay, what is
Make
this?
sure to hit that like and subscribe. Hit
Breaking
that bell
news: 2
button.
people injured in the shooting at Jewish museum. One injured is it? Okay, what? So at least from one of the trusted accounts, it says one of the person who's injured is the Israeli embassy staff. We'll recap in just a second. Let me find more information. In the meantime, someone was talking about Theo Wong. Let me get your guys' thought. What do you guys think of what he just put out? Because clearly, again, Theo Wong, one of the most popular person in the United States, at least, probably in the world, and one of the biggest podcaster. And this is what he said about the war going on. And as you guys know, we are a geopolitics channel, so let's talk about this.
You know, I wanted to say something. There's been something that's just been kind of on my heart, and so
Damn, I don't want to be a geopolitical. Fuck. sorry. Flipping. I don't want to be a I don't want to consider myself a geopolitic channel. Kind of want to do everything. Like talk about everything, do everything, and whatever. But man, it's starting to look like
I
that.
should bring it up. There is, we've had people on the podcast in the past to talk about it, and there's a conflict that's been happening in the Middle East. People know about it. Between Israel and Palestine and some of the areas over there, the Gaza area they talk about. And
I don't know if I like this version of Theo.
It feels to me
kind of bring me down.
It feels
No, I don't think Hassan was the shooter, not Miku.
to me like it's a genocide that's
Hassan.
happening while we're
Because Hassan has the
alive here
freaking
in
balls,
front of our lives. And I don't. Sometimes I feel like I should say something. I'm not a geologist or geographer or anything like that, so I don't know a lot of some of it I do know, though. Like, I know the basics of the issues over there, but for me, it's just like how I feel like you see.
But this is insane, right? Just to pause this real quick. Oh yeah, so someone just asked if our channel does get deleted. That's the thing, we don't know. Our channel could be deleted. Okay, let me finish the video, then I'll talk about it.
All these photos of people.
That sucks, dude. Getting
Just
your
children, women,
people,
people,
hard work, those videos,
body
posted.
parts, just
Man.
people like putting their kids back together. And I just can't believe that we're watching that and that more isn't said about it. And so I'm not saying anyone else needs to say anything, but I think I'm just that more isn't said about it by me. So I just, I want to be able to speak up about that I think we're.
Oh my god, I already disagree with this. I'm already starting to disagree with him, dude. What do you mean that hasn't being talked about? Everybody is lit. This is the only thing that people talk about, dude. You literally go on Instagram, every other Instagram account is blasting stuff about Palestine, and hating freaking Israel and yada yada yada, and trying to call out America and calling out Israel and yada yada. Everybody's just duking on Israel.
We're watching probably like
that's all it is
one of
right
the
now.
sickest things that's ever happened. And I'm sorry if I kind of haven't said about it. I've tried to talk about it and learn about it. But I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to say something. I don't even know what to do. And it's crazy because our country's also complicit in it. It's in it. And has been for a long time, and it's just kind of interesting because then you just realize, oh well, I'm a member of this country, but I'm just what we want sometimes doesn't matter, and you just have to be a member of a place, and your government is making other choices. So I don't know if I said that correctly, or I don't even know exactly what I said, but I just have, it's just like been making me really sick, and I feel like I just needed to say something that I think. You don't have to think that.
Oh, we know, brother. That's all it is, dude. That's all everybody's just saying now. You don't have to feel bad about
Not
us.
asking you to do
I'm gonna hear it for
anything.
like the 100,000th time.
But I just have to say that so I'm not sitting by, there's that piece inside of me like, why wouldn't you, can't you say something? There's people that can't even speak, and you can say something, and so that's how I just had to just speak up. Anyway, yeah. So just praying for those people and just the grief that is all going to cause.
But one thing I get, again, he doesn't follow the war probably as closely as most of us. He's not involved in geopolitics as much. And one thing that I didn't like with this whole situation is everyone just started coming after him. And that's not how you usually get people to change your mind. This is just personally speaking. If I disagree with someone, and instead of talking with me,
that's
when
true.
we have a disagreement, someone just starts attacking you.
That's
saying,
why
"Hey,
that's why I specifically just said I just disagree with him, and that was it. I didn't start attacking him or start calling him names or anything. That's it. I just disagree with him on something, and that was it, dude. There's nothing more. There's nothing less, and there's no need for anything more
you're
or
a
anything
dumbass,
less.
You're wrong. You're probably getting paid."
Yeah.
That makes you
Yeah. Literally, this.
more towards the side
Incredible.
that you're on. That doesn't
Yeah.
open up your mind to think about oh, maybe I am wrong here. So that's what a lot of people started doing. They just started attacking him, saying he took.
I could agree that it is annoying that the U.S. is involved, because that's my money going towards this bull crap that I don't care about. If these people wanna as mean as it sounds, but if these people want to waste away their lives and their existences, killing and bombing each other over stupid stuff, then let them do that. But stop wasting our resources and our money funding that crap. That's the thing. I can acknowledge that sometimes Israel is going overboard. Actually, what the hell are you doing? Sorry, I think I just caught my cat eating something. What the hell are you doing, Bajan? I can agree that sometimes Israel goes overboard, and a lot of innocent lives are being lost. But then I could also agree that I don't support terrorism. I've watched Naruto enough times to know that one side fights for justice, just how the other fights, just how the other side thinks that they're fighting for justice as well. Who are you to tell them? Who are you to tell Israel that their feelings are invalidated, and that October 7th was justified and shit? You don't get to tell them that. Just like how you don't really get to tell Palestine that they're not suffering and blah blah blah. They're both fighting for what they think is right. That's why I think we should just step out of it, dude. Just stop giving the money, and if they think it's right to continue fighting, then let them do that. But stop wasting our money.
From Qatar, and that's why he's saying all this. Which I highly doubt that's the case. If you don't agree with what he's saying, I think there's a better way to go about it than just attack him and just say, hey, you're probably just.
There's literally no need to attack Theo Von. I still like Theo Von, even though I disagree with him on this.
But again, coming back to this story, because I saw something that was kind of crazy. So video
I partially
obtained by
disagree, to be
JI,
fair.
which I don't know what JI is, shows an individual roughly matching reported descriptions of the suspect in the lobby of the museum charged chanting Free Free Palestine, being detained by police and removed from the building. So someone who was chanting it was arrested. Now, we don't know if this is the person who did do the shooting, but the Washington D.C. Police Department is about to do, hopefully you guys see it, they're about to do a press conference, so hopefully we'll hear that live, whatever information they have. So let's see what happens here. But let me look at the chat.
Let me look at the chat. No way to make this.
Let's where is this? I have more things saved.
There's no way to see the chat.
Oh, FBI Director Kash Patel is there too. Because again, this did happen in Washington D.C. So a lot of the high-level people are like very close by. That's why Pam Bondi got there like 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes it happened. Is it starting? Not yet. I have my thing open. If it starts.
Timestamps. Damn it. Can't make this bigger. Whatever. Yeah, because I kind of want to see the chats too.
I could be wrong on this because last time I was streaming, we did talk about the plane Trump is taking from Qatar. But based on my knowledge, the Department of Defense is going to take the plane, and then it's going to stay with the Department of Defense even after Trump like goes out of office until we get the new plane. Which again, we are expected to get that in 2017 or 2027, 2028. So when we get the new plane, it goes to Trump's museum. I still don't think we should have taken it, but it's definitely not as big of a deal as it makes it out to be. I could be wrong. But where did those I see?
The New York Post. What was that?
People are coming to the scene. I'm out of Austin, Texas. I'm not shocked at all. What does that mean? Point you?
Oh man, there's always gonna be people in the chat talking doo-doo. Talking their doo-doo. I already had some people telling me that I need to leave my room and, you know, do this and do that, and I need to, like, you know, be healthy. Like, brother, I go to the gym like
we're getting
every
out
other
of
day.
Washington D.C. now.
Every
U.S.
day,
media
but
is reporting there's been a shooting outside the Capitol Jewish Museum.
Most
At
random
least two
thing
people
ever.
have been killed, according to reports. Israel's ambassador to the United Nations says employees of the Israeli embassy are among those shot and injured. We will bring you more information as soon as we get it to hand. We're joined on the phone now by Heidi Jo Castro,
actually crazy
who is
that I
in
caught
Washington,
this.
D.C. And Heidi, I know
I
details
caught
will be
this
scarce,
live.
but what more are you able to tell us right now?
Right. The reports are that the victims are a
happening
man and
right
a woman,
now,
and
like
one of them is
40, 50
reportedly
minutes ago now.
deceased, another in critical condition. Now, they were shot in front of the Capitol Jewish Museum, which is right in the middle of Washington, D.C., next to an FBI field office, and in fact has only been in operation for about 2 years. These victims were reported to have been perhaps attending an event being hosted at this museum.
Quick pause. It was confirmed that both people killed were the embassy staff. So both people who died were from Israeli embassy. We don't know if it's diplomat, but as we get more information, we'll share it.
And now there's also reports that the victims may be connected to a foreign embassy diplomatic staff, and that one, again, this is unconfirmed, and the identities of the victims have not been released by authorities, but reports are that they could be tied to Israel's embassy. Again, unconfirmed information at this point, as this is just breaking news happening as we speak. The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force is responding now to the shooting. We don't have any word on who the shooter was, whether they're still at large. But again, this is seriously...
Damn, they haven't even got him yet.
I doubt this was spies. So the information so far we have is there was some event at the Jewish Museum, whatever that was, and there were protesters right outside there chanting Free Palestine. And I'm guessing after the event, shooting took place, and someone has said allegedly that one of the people protesting outside was just put in handcuffs. We don't exactly know if that's true. We don't exactly know if he was involved in shooting, but that's the news on Twitter at least.
Concerning people, given that anti-Semitism has been on the rise in the U.S., the Anti-Defamation League noting that there's been a 300% rise in incidents over the last 5 years, but namely the shooting of Jewish people hasn't been the headliners. It's been more vandalism, assault, that kind of thing. And so if it is confirmed that these victims were Jewish and that they may have been targeted because of that, then certainly that adds a darker layer to this incident.
Yeah, Heidi, like you say, a darker layer. Once we get more information, and if it is in fact confirmed that the victims are from Israel's embassy in D.C., if that is
It just got confirmed 3 minutes ago. Jerusalem Post, again, not a U.S. publication, if I'm correct. Jerusalem Post, they confirmed 3 minutes ago, roughly, that both people were from the embassy staff, not necessarily diplomat.
the case, what could potentially be the wider ramifications here? I mean, obviously there have been many claims of anti-Semitism. This is likely to fuel that potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. We, of course, know that Donald Trump has been targeting what he calls anti-Semitism on campuses, on university campuses around the U.S. There's certainly been more focus. The Jewish American community, some members, of course, oppose the war in Gaza, but there's also been many who have said that they do feel targeted, that they...
Israeli embassy just confirmed that both members were from their staff. So I would say that's the final confirmation.
Damn.
We don't need anything from anyone if the embassy is confirming itself.
feel
was from
more
their
threatened
staff.
since the war started. And it's interesting, if you look at this synagogue, this museum, which has a synagogue in it, in which this shooting...
What are you
Oh,
talking
man,
about?
I don't know how
Big
this is
Sky?
gonna...
Did you see? Are you talking about the post we put up on X?
I really don't know
took
how this
place
is gonna
right
like fold
outside
over.
of the Capitol Jewish Museum, in fact, had just been noting that they were fearful of their security, and they had just been granted, in fact, some more money from the D.C. local government to beef up their security. Again, we don't know if this shooting happened inside. Reports are actually that these two individuals, these victims, were shot outside, perhaps leaving an event that was being hosted at the museum. And again, we're still working to confirm the identities of these victims and how and if they are at all related to the Israeli diplomatic staff, as some reports claim.
Thank you so much, Heidi. We no doubt will speak to you a little later.
So let me just update you guys on more information we have. We already looked at Kash Patel. I think he's involved. Some FBI anti-terrorism task force is going to the location.
Ash Patel.
And what else do we have? Someone's claiming, I don't know who this is, but video has been obtained by Jerusalem Independence. I think that's what JI is, which shows that police has arrested someone who was chanting "Free, Free Palestine" outside the building during the event. Now, the shooting did happen after the event. Israeli embassy confirmed that the two people who were shot, they went to some event at the Jewish Museum, or Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. And after the event, it's likely that they were going home or something. That's when the shooting happened.
They got Batman in the alleyway.
Let's see if I have, yeah, we have something else we can watch.
Now to some breaking news we are following tonight, and it is a big
already
story
on the
developing
news.
Oh,
out of
by the way,
Washington,
Here we
D.C.
If
go.
you guys haven't hit the like button, be sure to hit it. We also have a subscriber count.
Yeah,
right
go
above
hit
my
that
head.
shite.
We're trying to get to
Go hit
2
that
million subscribers, so you can
shiza.
subscribe. Okay, someone in here is never mind. I think they're joking. I thought someone in the chat was sharing. We're also waiting on the DC police to do a press conference, so hopefully we'll catch that. I have a little bit of audio.
Ooh,
so
that would be
here it
good.
starts.
That would be good.
A shooting outside
We'll
of
see
the
what
Jewish
they have to
Museum.
say.
There are several other
What type of information they can
high-profile
relate to us right now.
locations, including an FBI office. At
Trying to get all the
least one of
juicy
victims is
details right
believed to
now.
have ties to the Israeli embassy.
Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger here with the breaking news tonight, Josh.
Well, Mike and Shadi, this is rapidly developing. It is unfolding as we speak, and more information to come.
I'm honestly not really trying to form an opinion right now.
But here is what ABC News is reporting.
I'm just
right
trying to
now.
lay
Law
out the
enforcement sources
facts.
say at least 2 people were shot outside of an event.
You know,
at
just
the
in case
Capitol
business
Jewish
basics
Museum. This is
stuff
50
does
blocks
get
away from
deleted. You know, at least some of his videos will remain through
ABC
me.
is reporting at least one of the people shot is
And
believed
get his
to be a
videos out
member
there to
of
more
the
people who
Israeli
haven't seen
embassy
him
staff.
or don't know about
I
him.
understand one person may be
It's a good
dead.
channel, man.
A second person has been rushed to the hospital, and a person of interest being questioned by police. It's a very large police scene right now. I can tell you Attorney General Pam Bondi, newly appointed U.S. Attorney in D.C. Janine Pirro, both appeared on scene personally. All of this happening, as I said, by the Jewish Museum, also very close to an FBI field office and not far from the D.C. police headquarters. I also can tell you that we have a tweet from the Israeli ambassador to the UN just now. The fatal shooting that took place was a depraved act of anti-Semitic terrorism, he said. Harming diplomats and the Jewish community is crossing a red.
Okay, so that's the ambassador saying that diplomat was harmed. I don't know too much, but I feel like that's an international event if something like that happens.
Line. We are confident U.S. authorities will take a strong action against those responsible for this criminal act. We can now say that 2 people have been confirmed dead in this shooting.
Oh, wow.
I mean, yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty criminal. It's better than
Who did
murder.
it? We're not entirely clear what the motive was. We're not entirely clear, but this is
Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it.
Oh, I'm from Texas, point you. I think what you're talking about, I forgot what was the name. It was some kind of like
Oh, my man is from Texas.
Epic City or something it was named. It was like a Islamic town, but Greg Abbott has stopped it, so I don't think it's happening.
Half hour, overnight. We'll have a bunch more as it
Mr. Abbott.
So Nancy, I think Israeli embassy confirmed that the 2 people are their staff. Now, some places we have seen that they could be diplomats.
Yeah, I don't know
We
how
don't
that's
have
gonna
a full-on
boil over, to be
confirmation yet,
honest.
but let's see.
That might not be
Hopefully-
good for
let's
like
see. I
the
don't know.
whole
Could be
tensions
honest.
over,
Could be
overseas
staff,
and
could not
everything.
be staff. We have no clue. What could be
But
diplomat,
Especially
Fine.
over
could
here in the
not
United
be
States,
diplomat.
DC's coverage.
Attacking
Again, 2 people dead in a shooting in DC.
the
Here's
attacks in
what Fox
Orlando
5
is
is-
never really
So
good
we're
for
waiting on.
politics.
So Metro DC, Metro Police is about. Oh, I think it's starting. All right, they're doing a press conference. We're watching live. Let's do it.
All right.
I'll shut up. Hit the like button.
Put this up a little, you guys.
So I think Nancy, it was the protester who shot. That's what at least allegedly the news we saw on Twitter. Nothing much, but we'll have for sure information. This is the DC police. It's starting.
Good evening. I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm Mayor of Washington, D.C. I am here with the Chief of the Metropolitan
pretty cool last
Police
name,
Department,
Bowser, Muriel
Pamela
Bowser.
Smith. And we are joined by members of the Washington, D.C. Public Safety Team and our partners in the federal government from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the special agent in charge, as well as the assistant director in charge.
I don't know if that was him or me.
By the Attorney General for the
But it was
United
definitely
States,
not you
Ted
guys.
Bundy, the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Judge Pirro, as well as the Israeli ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Leichter. We are here at the MPD headquarters to provide an update on a horrific shooting that happened shortly after 9 p.m. this evening near the Capitol Jewish Museum. I want to start by sending our condolences to the loved ones of the victims who were senselessly a victim of these crimes. I want to provide my prayers and condolences to the museum staff and the guests who are also gathering together.
Oh, is that a
in
museum?
fellowship.
Yeah.
The chief will share preliminary information from the investigation.
Yeah, I feel
will
bad
say
for
up
the
front that
workers,
there
you know.
is
Now they're gonna be
no
traumatized to go to
active
work.
threat in our community. What I do know is that the horrific incident is going to frighten a lot of people in our city and in our country. And I want to be clear that we will not tolerate this violence or hate in our city. We will not tolerate any acts of terrorism, and we're going to stand together as a community in the coming days and weeks to send the clear message that we will not tolerate anti-Semitism. I want to ask Chief Smith to talk about where we are with this investigation, followed by our FBI partners, and lastly, Ambassador Leichter.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm Chief Pamela A. Smith, Chief of Police for the Metropolitan Police Department, and I'll start by expressing my sincere condolences to both of the victims and families.
Why does like everybody have the same haircut?
Also,
Yeah.
the attendees tonight at the Capitol
Hi,
Jewish Museum. At
not laughing at the
approximately
situation.
9
This is live, G.
tonight, we received multiple calls for a shooting in the area of 3rd Street and F Street Northwest. Officers located one adult male and one adult female unconscious and not breathing at the scene. DC Fire and EMS responded despite all life-saving efforts. Both victims succumbed to their injuries.
Yeah, that
The
sucks.
preliminary investigation indicates that both victims were exiting an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum located in the 500 block of 3rd Street Northwest when the shooting occurred. We believe the shooting was committed by a single suspect who is now in custody. Prior to the shooting, the suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside of the museum. He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire, striking both of our decedents. After the shooting, the suspect then entered the museum and was detained by event security.
So he like basically
Once in
Batman
handcuffs,
them in the
The
alleyway.
suspect identified where he discarded the weapon, and that weapon has been recovered, and he implied that he committed the offense. The suspect chanted, "Free, free Palestine," while in custody. The suspect has been tentatively identified as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, Illinois. Our MPD case detectives are leading this investigation. I will now turn it over to Washington Field Office Associate Director Steve Jensen.
Thank you, Chief.
Assistant
Director in charge of the Washington Field Office. I'd also like to express my sincere condolences not only to the family of the victims, but to the ambassador and the grievance for the Israeli nation. Tonight, a heinous crime was committed, and the FBI stands with the Metropolitan Police Department to help not only investigate the homicide and provide support, but also to look into ties to potential terrorism or motivation based on a bias-based crime or a hate crime. That's our reason for being here. Full support of the FBI to Metropolitan Police Department to resolve this. And I also
it's over.
express my sincere gratitude
Yeah, it was
to
only
Metropolitan
45
Police
minutes.
Department for their quick action, their attempts to render aid despite the nature of the crime resulting in the death of the victims. Getting the subject in custody quickly resolves this issue and allows us to continue with the investigation. With that, I'll turn it over to the ambassador.
Wait, no sound here. You guys are it's just in one headphones. So guys,
really what
this
I have to say
this
evening is thank you.
So make sure.
Mayor, to your amazing staff, Attorney General Sbandi, Chief Attorney for Washington, Judge Janine Pirro. The couple that was gunned down tonight in the name of Free Palestine is a young couple about to be engaged.
Oh, wow.
The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem. They were a beautiful couple who came to enjoy an evening.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate when they do this and they start saying all this like nonsense. Like, bro, just get to the point. This has nothing to do with it. Like, who cares what type of life they live? The point is that you know, these 2 people were killed, yo. It doesn't matter what kind of life they live, they still were killed. and like, what he should be saying is that this is not gonna help Palestine. Like, just killing innocent lives is not gonna do nothing for Palestine.
Washington's Cultural Center. I will say this. We are a resilient people. The people of Israel are resilient people. The people of the United States of America are resilient people. Together we won't be afraid. Together we'll stand, and we're going to overcome moral depravity of people who think that they're going to achieve political gains through murder. On the way in, Ms. Bondi was kind enough to hand me the phone. On the other line was the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who told me that his administration is going to do everything it can possibly do to fight and end anti-Semitism and the hatred that's being directed, the demonization and delegitimization of the State of Israel. Together with President Trump, our Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, will stand together tall and firm, and we will confront this moral depravity without fear and with determination. And now we'll turn to taking care of the families of these two victims. And again,
The sound is just in one ear, by the way. That's just the video we're
the
watching.
American administration, the city of Washington, and the law enforcement officers who are on this case are going to get to the bottom of it and bring justice to the city, to the people of Washington.
Oh, okay. So that is just him.
The people of Israel.
We're tripping out before.
Confident and safe in the city of Washington and around the United States of America. Thank you.
Hi, Shamari Stone from Fox 5 DC. You say that there is a suspect in custody right now, and he walked into the museum. What is he telling investigators tonight?
Well, I don't know what he's telling them at this moment. What I do know is that he is in custody.
Obviously.
And as you know, Amari, we have to conduct an investigation, and that requires us to ask many questions. At the time of this press conference, I'm not privileged to that information as of right now.
Hi, Evan Paris
Okay.
from CNN. Is there any indication when he entered the Jewish Museum that he was planning to carry out additional shootings? Was he trying to harm other people? Is there any indication? Can you tell us any more about that? And also for the Attorney General and the U.S. Attorney.
That's a good question.
Can you say whether, given the diplomatic component of this, does this become a
Like, was he
federal
stopped in the middle of
investigation,
trying to attack
crime
more
be,
people?
to be prosecuted by the federal government?
So in response to your first question, we're still conducting the investigation, and at this moment, again, it's preliminary. So you'll have to give us a little bit more time to determine what the motives were at this point.
Fair enough.
And you heard from the chief and from the special agent in charge that MPD is investigating the homicides and the FBI's role. Of course, as always, when there is any possibility of a terrorist act or acts motivated by hate or other bias, the FBI will be conducting those investigations.
The Federal Bureau of
all
Investigation.
Homicides are prosecuted in the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. by the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia. Okay.
Carl Willis, 7 News. Just a question about, after everything that happened, the stance from local and possibly federal law enforcement about any protection moving forward or heightened security for this community.
Thank you for that question. And I'm going to turn to the chief, but we have a long history and a lot of practice in our city of working with Jewish organizations around safety and around protection. And we watch global events, national events, and local events. And our organizations work directly with MPD, and MPD responds with additional resources. And so I know the chief will spend tonight and tomorrow, and we'll be talking to all of our organizations, from schools to synagogues to other organizations, to make sure we are supporting in every way that we can. Yes.
That the suspect was detained by event security after entering the museum.
Yeah.
Is it correct to say that he surrendered voluntarily to security, or was he forcefully detained?
I don't know that we can say that right now. It's part of what MPD is investigating. Yes.
Hi,
That was a good answer.
Magazine. I have a question for the police chief.
I would have gotten like confused and answered. Nah, it's like, nah, imagine.
Any heightened security or threats that you are aware of, and also for the Attorney General, do you have a message for Jewish Americans who are feeling concerned for their safety tonight?
What I will say to your first question is that we have not received any intelligence with respect to any type of terrorist act or hate crime in our city. As you know, we work very well with all of our partners in the intelligence community, and had we received any information, as we would do anytime, we would ensure that we had heightened security around our city at most of our synagogues. We have for a number of years. We put out grants to organizations, and we allow organizations to apply for grants. And there have been a lot of faith organizations that have applied for special security grants.
Actually,
and so we continue.
Missy, you just asked the name. Actually, see if we can find. So, again, it is from Twitter, so let's take everything with a grain of salt. But Elias Rodriguez of Chicago, Illinois, has been identified as the shooter. While in custody, he chanted "Free Palestine" 3 times. On top of it, it seems he was chanting that before, and he was protesting at the event. So there was an event where the Israeli embassy staff went, and then after the event, they were leaving. That's when the shooting took place. So let's see what he says. Oh, what is this? This is
who will be prosecuting this case. We'll be doing everything in our power to keep all citizens safe, especially tonight our Jewish community. Our prayers go out. We have the FBI, all of our federal agencies will work hand in hand with you, Chief, as we have done, and you, Mayor, to do everything we can to keep our citizens safe. We will follow the facts, we will follow the law, and this defendant, if charged, will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
The big bad dog. No, bound to hunter. Oh, girl.
Hi, I'm Michael Cosell, the Sydney Morning Herald. Just on the man in custody, could you confirm the spelling of his name? You said that he was from Chicago. Do we know if he travelled to DC with the intention of, committing this act? And just finally, did he say anything else
baby on her phone?
while in police custody other than free?
I think you should be careful what you.
So the correct
Maybe not have your phone on you when you're doing a live broadcast like that.
E
Just showing your whole
Apple,
baby
L
to the world.
I as in India, A as in Apple, S as in Sierra, last name Rodriguez, Romeo, Oscar, Delta, Romeo, India, Golf, Uniform, Echo, Zulu. And as I've stated before, the case is still under investigation, and that will be determined with regards to if he said any other statements.
You're not catching her, man. You keep asking
at this time.
the same question, but like worded differently every time, and you're not gonna catch her, man.
Beatrice Peterson, ABC News. I was wondering, is this individual known to police? Have you had any prior interactions with him?
We have not had any prior interactions with him based on an NCIC
Oh,
check.
okay, never mind.
We don't see anything in his background that would have placed him on our radar at this time. But again, our Joint Terrorism Task Force is working very closely with the FBI to ensure that we can do a deep dive into his background.
Shamari Stone, Fox 5, real quick question. You said that he was pacing back and forth in front of the building prior to this incident. Did security engage with the suspect prior to the shooting? Did he look suspicious?
Yeah, why wouldn't no security engage? Yeah. Especially if he's pacing back and forth. That's pretty suspicious. That warrants suspiciousness.
Is there any indication that the firearm that was used in the crime was purchased illegally, legally obtained? Was there a serial number, or was it filed off? Do we know any details right now?
Our ATF partners will do a deep dive with respect to the firearms, as they typically would with any firearms here in the District of Columbia. So thank you, and expect, as we have more to report, to get additional facts from the Metropolitan Police Department. Thank you.
I think the biggest issue is more coverage this gets, more people will feel like this is the way to bring more attention to the war. Well, that's the sad part.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's gonna be it.
Not good, man. Especially when we have freaking people flipping people like Hamas diddler Piker, inciting people to do more violence.
Yeah.
Putting bounties on people.
Yeah, it will get crazy. I have some Jewish friends who are thinking about changing the name.
What does that mean?
Let's see if we have any information, because someone pointed out in the chat that maybe his social media is still up. We can learn a lot from someone's social media. Oh, I don't want to click on something. have it be a wrong person. Let me click on this off stream.
To have it be a round person.
Alright. Alright, I think the press conference is done. Let's see if we have any news, but I think that's all for tonight. They did catch the guy pretty quick. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's what the press conference is about.
Peace.
At least, yeah, that's good though. At least they did catch him. Imagine this guy just assassinated 2 people and then, you know, just running around like Slade Wilson. That wouldn't be too good. Anyways, it is getting pretty late out here too. I will catch you guys in the next video tomorrow, or technically later today. I hope you guys like this. Leave a comment, subscribe. Make sure to check out the Twitch channel too, and make sure to check out Business Basics. Give them a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in our next YouTube video.